Now, let us look at let us focus at this journey from FERA to FEMA. So what was happening, that there was a change of approach uh, towards the economic development of the country from control to management. So this changing approach started in 1991 with economic reforms under the guidance of International Monetary Fund, and several committees were formed to look into the classification of the foreign exchange transactions and what should be done to manage the foreign trade and the foreign exchange transactions, keeping in view the economic development of the country. So 1993, the exchange rate of rupee was made market determined. It was not until 1993 that the exchange rate of Indian rupee was made market determined. So 1994, because of this change, that the rupee was made market determined, and based on certain very important committees which were instituted by Government of India in 1994, the our currency became convertible on current account. We were talking about the current account convertibility, which was adopted in 1994. And because of these developments, these changes, these classifications of the foreign exchange, in with the keeping in view the economic development of the country, and to facilitate the foreign exchange transactions, the FEMA Act of 1999 was came into effect in the year 2000. So this is the focus which I wanted to share with you from FERA to FEMA. Now let us look at the differences between FERA and FEMA. So in this chart you can see that the impact, if you look at the impact of FERA policies or the provisions of FERA, was the control and conserve. I mean, controlling the export and import in the country and controlling the foreign exchange transactions. While the impact of FEMA was the management of the situation. So this was a very major change which you can see here from FERA to FEMA. And the vision of FERA and FEMA also had a lot of difference. The vision of FERA was to conserve the foreign exchange, while the vision of FEMA was to facilitate the foreign exchange transactions. So it was not really to conserve the foreign exchange. So it was a new experimentation, I can say. And the law which applied to FERA was the criminal law, while the law which applied to FEMA was civil law. So you can understand the difference between the criminal law and civil law. There was a time, I remember, that in the time of FERA, the people who were involved in export-import business, they were very much afraid of FERA, and they were always ready to go to jail, because most of the provisions were non-bailable at that time. But there is nothing of that sort now in civil law of FEMA. Most of the punishments and penalties are monetary in their form, and they are compounded. They are compounding punishments. So if we look at the control in FERA was that everything was to be done with the RBI permission, without which you cannot do anything, because as I told you that everything was prohibited unless specifically allowed. So RBI had to allow. So it was omnipresent that all the transactions had to be having a permission from RBI. While in FEMA, RBI permission is only required for the transactions which are mentioned in Section 3 of FEMA Act. So out of 49 sections, there is only one section, that is Section 3, where you need RBI permissions, which I will be discussing later in this presentation. Now, if you look at the scope of FERA, it applied to all Indians, whether they were residing in India or outside. So, in fact, there was no clear definition of that who was the resident and who was the non-resident Indian at that time. So, it applied to all the Indians. While in the case of FEMA, it applies to only residents. So, the FEMA Act only applies to residents, and there is a very clear-cut definition of what is resident, which I will be discussing later in this presentation. So scope is of a different type. You can see the changing spirit of time here. Now, if we look at the categorization of the transaction, the types of transactions, there was only single category of transaction, and that was the foreign exchange. So anything to do with foreign exchange was the single category treatment in FERA, while in the case of FEMA, there are multiple categories, and more predominantly they are current account transactions and capital account transactions. So there is multi-category. The transactions have been defined within current account transactions and capital account transactions. There are different categories. So all different categories of transactions has to be treated very logically. So these changes were very radical changes which happened post 2000. And very important part when we compare FERA and FEMA is the issue of contravention. As I already told you that the contravention of FERA was draconian in nature, and the major role of in the contravention, in the case of contravention, the major role of the government department was ED, that is the Enforcement Directorate. While in the case of FEMA, the predominant role of the government department is RBI. Only very small part of it is the responsibility of Enforcement Directorate, which relates to Hawala transactions. So only those kind of transactions which are illegal in nature comes under the purview of Enforcement Directorate, and all of it, all the transactions, all the permissions, all the monitoring comes under the purview of RBI. So from this slide, I think all of you must have got some idea that what it meant from movement of the country from FERA Act to FEMA Act. So let us go to